From mining wars to famous outlaws and environmental disasters, Colorado is a state with some Wild West stories and events, and not all of them have happy endings. So I'm here to give you a tour of the most infamous places in Colorado that you can visit, places that I have been to myself and explored as I travel all over this state. Most of these places have a horrible story to tell, so consider yourself warned. Also, I'm leaving out some of the more recent incidents as well. Let's get to it. First up, Telluride. Yeah, the town may be known for its views, but the old San Miguel Bank in town is where Butch Cassidy committed his first big crime, where he and Matt Werner and two of the McCarty brothers stole $21,000, equivalent to about $500,000 to $750,000 today, and made off on the outlaw trail to Robber's Roost, a hideout deep in the canyons of southeast Utah. You can also see parts of the outlaw trail that go from Telluride and Mancos to the Robber's Roost, and some in northwest Colorado known as the Browns Hole area. Ludlow, just off of I-25 between Trinidad and Walsenburg, was home to 1,200 striking coal miners and their families living in tents because they kicked out of the company town owned by the mine, Colorado Fuel and Iron Company, partially owned by John D. Rockefeller Jr. They were striking to get better pay and safety conditions. Colorado coal mines had a death rate of 7.06 to 1,000 employees, where out of state it was 3.15 per 1,000. On the morning of April 20th, Unit A of the Colorado National Guard, comprised mostly of mine guards, opened fire onto the camp. The guards also burned tents, killing approximately 21 people, mostly women and children. This started the 10-day war in Colorado in between Colorado National Guard and Union members. It was only stopped when the federal government stepped in and disarmed both sides. In total, 75 people passed away. The beautiful and scenic Animas River, flowing from Silverton down to Durango and into New Mexico, is full of recreation and beauty. But at this site, in August of 2015, workers from the government agency EPA chose to work around a problem instead of fixing it, causing a blowout at this abandoned Gold King mine that released 3 million gallons of mine waste into the Cement Creek, feeding into the Animas, turning the river orange with polluted water. It was estimated a total 880,000 pounds of heavy toxic metals like arsenic, cadmium, lead, aluminum, and copper were released into the river, a lot of it being deposited into the banks, where it may cause problems for generations. In eastern Colorado, near Big Sandy Creek, the 3rd Colorado Cavalry, under the command of Colonel John Shivington, attacked and annihilated a village of Cheyenne and Arapaho people, killing approximately 160, mostly women and children, despite the presence of white flags. It is thought that even more died, as many were mutilated and the dead bodies were desecrated. This attack on the innocent caused many to join the Cheyenne Dog Soldiers and attack many settlements on the prairie around Colorado, Nebraska, and Kansas. This site here was the Granada War Relocation Center in eastern Colorado, where nearly 10,000 Japanese Americans were forced to live after the bombing of Pearl Harbor in 1941. Today you can visit this National Historic Site and check out the nearby museum as a reminder of the horrible policies put in place during time of war. In 1873, this is the site where it was believed that Alfred Packer enjoyed his meal, making him known as the Colorado Cannibal, and one of 4 people in the United States ever convicted of cannibalism. This happened after Alfred tried to lead a group of prospectors from Utah to Breckenridge before becoming lost in the San Juan Mountains and resorting to cannibalism to stay alive. Aspen, Colorado is a beautiful mountain town, but back in 1970, Ted Bundy came to the area and took the lives of 2 victims and another in Grand Junction. He was later arrested in Salt Lake City and was extradited to Aspen to stand trial, where he represented himself and asked to visit the law library, where he jumped out of the Aspen courthouse window and injured his ankle. He broke into a couple cabins to get clothes and tried to hike south to Crested Butte. He got lost multiple times and ended up coming back to Aspen, and after stealing a car, he was caught and put in jail 6 days after his escape. Later, on December 30th, while staying in a jail in neighboring Glenwood Springs, Ted starved himself to lose weight and fit through a light fixture above. He would sneak through the crawl space till he escaped. He hitchhiked with a few locals and got on a bus in Vail heading to Denver. He was in Chicago by the time they noticed he was missing back in Glenwood Springs. Leadville, Colorado has always had a reputation of being a wild mountain town since its inception in 1877. But in the late 1890s, the price of silver dropped and many mines in Leadville cut pay. The workers retaliated and went on strike. After months of a standoff, on September 21st, 1896, a group of 50 armed strikers ascended on the Coloado mine and attempted to destroy the shaft house with dynamite bombs. They threw 3 dynamite bombs and a number of incendiary bombs. The oil tank, which supplied the boiler, ruptured and the spill caught fire, forcing the defending strikebreakers to flee while flames destroyed the shaft house. The attackers then shot and killed a fireman trying to extinguish the resulting blaze. The miners working at the Coloado had killed 2 of the attackers and mortally wounded a 3rd. The attackers then moved to the Emmett mine, about a half a mile away and outside of town, where in addition to dynamite and gunfire, they used a homemade cannon to fire shrapnel at the shaft house. The cannon blew a hole in the defensive wall, and the attackers tried to rush through the breach, but were driven back by gunfire from the strikebreakers. The attackers again tried to rupture the boiler fuel tank at Emmett, but without success. The attackers finally withdrew, with one being left for dead. The Colorado National Guard was called in to give protection for the mines before they could arrive. A couple Union miners were shot and killed. The strikes ended with no increase in pay. Some conspiracy theories say that the attackers were hired by the mine companies in order to get the National Guard to arrive and protect them. Back in 2002, at this little repair shop in Granby, Colorado, Marvin Heemeyer was secretly armoring a massive Komatsu dozer, and on June 4, 2002, he busted through the repair shop wall and started to doze down buildings, like the former mayor's office, the town hall, and other buildings, going after people he thought had wronged him as he was trying to build his muffler shop business and fight against the neighboring concrete plant Expansion, owned by the Dochefs. He had it out for anyone who was supporting them. He eventually ended his own life as the bulldozer got stuck in a hidden basement of a hardware store. That is it. I'm sure I missed a few places. Let me know in the comments below. I appreciate you taking the time to watch my videos, and if you're looking for an awesome pair of socks that are super comfortable and have a lifetime warranty, then check out these socks from Darn Tough. You can see the pair I've used every other workday for 4 years, and they still are going. Seriously, the last pair of socks you'll ever need. Thanks again.